Hi everyone, it's the Assyrian priestess with you. I hope this finds you well. I'm doing a dark goddess reading today, but first I am shuffling from the Mists of Avalon Oracle deck. And I don't know the deck very well, so I will be referring to the guidebook. So let's see what we have. Oh look, we have Morgan Le Fay and the King of the Fairy Realm. How interesting. So the Morgan card is number 16 with the words fate, magic, prophecy, intuition. So if you've been feeling something, sensing something, but there's no physical evidence for it yet, Morgan could be at play. And she was a wise seeress and prophetess. She's also the half-sister of King Arthur. And she actually heals King Arthur when he's wounded fatally. No one else can heal the king, but Morgan does. She becomes maligned, actually, but she's known to be a very wise sorceress. And they say that if a raven comes and visits you with a message, could be from Morgan. There are other goddesses who also send ravens. She's not the only one, but you can see her here with her staff and her raven. Now coming towards her, interestingly, is this King of the Fairy Realm. And I don't know who he is, so I'm going to read from the book. She's the number 7 and the king is the number 8. Death and rebirth, personal power, renewal and journey. So look, I'll read you a little bit from the book from Morgan. The message is: destiny is not your fate. It can be changed. Let your feelings be your guide and trust your internal compass. So again, if you had to make a decision recently that was just because you deeply felt like you had to, but you can't logically describe why, you know that feeling? That's this card. That's this. It's almost like a high priestess. It's like an otherworld knowing. Now, the King of the Fairy Realm says, renewal doesn't just happen. You must take a journey into the shadow self, the dark abyss, facing all the aspects of yourself that bring up challenges, fears, and everything you have buried deep within. Clearing your past so that you can renew space for the future. Now, who this figure is a figure called Gwyn ap Nudd. And he is the King of the Fairy Realm. Let me know in the comments if you know him. Lord of the Wild Hunt and of the Otherworld. So we have two otherworldly figures here. Gwyn gathers the souls of the dead to the otherworld each Samhain through the portal under the hollow terraced hill of the Tor. At his heels are the Quinn Arwen, the white spectral hounds of Arwen. So let me know if you're from the Celtic tradition. The King of the Fairies asks you to ride with him through the gates of Arwen to be rebirthed into the new you. Yeah, so he's sort of like the death and rebirth card, actually. He also heralds in the coming of the new. And my impression kind of was a little bit, and I don't know if I'm getting a bit too sort of love story-ish, but I just do get the sense that it is two otherworldly archetypes about to meet each other. Let's see what the Dark Goddess Tarot has to say. So, of course, the first reading is you. This is you. You have made a decision to change your destiny based on your own inner knowing and your inner compass, right? And because you're about to go through this very deeply transformational death, rebirth, renewal cycle, and you probably are going through some deep transformative work, and I can just look at that beautiful illuminated full moon here. Now, the three hounds of Anwen, I don't know who they are, but I do know that in the Assyrian tradition, and even the goddess Hecate had three hounds of the netherworld. So there has been an underworld element to this story, meaning loss or casting off some old stuff from your childhood, from your past. This decision you made based on your intuition links you somehow to stuff from your childhood that you no longer want to carry with you. And they're both wearing cloaks. And cloaks are can be obviously the cloak of invisibility. So you're doing this work alone, in solitude, away from the eye of others. It can also be the shroud of mourning and grief. So I do feel like both of those themes are here. Darkness is a theme because they're both cloaked in black. Now, if this is like a 2D thing, my interpretation would be two otherworldly kind of people are about to cross paths with each other. And the masculine energy is coming in towards the feminine. The feminine is sitting still. In fact, her gaze is far away. Whereas the masculine has a very directed will. He knows exactly who Morgan is and that he must meet with her. So, yeah, a literal interpretation of this for me is you're going to get an invitation. And this otherworldly figure might be inviting you to work together somehow. There could be a task at hand. Let's see what the Dark Goddess Tarot has to say. I get a good feeling though. I get a good feeling like even though this reading is shrouded in grief, I feel like there's a renewal and a cleansing. So we start with the moon, Ariane rod, which I believe is from the same Celtic tradition. She is a goddess of the moon. The moon is such a beautiful card. I cannot wait to do a tarot talk on the moon. So again, we have this feeling of everything's happening in the cover of night. Everything's happening in the dream world, in the meditation world. If you do practice meditation or, journeying through drumming, through sound, maybe you journal your dreams. Like a lot of people actually are very connected to the other world. The world of symbols, right? Then we have Aphrodite, Siren of Water. So I think there is someone who is very taken by your beauty and it's It's not your physical beauty exactly, although I have no doubt you are very striking in appearance. They are more attracted to some magical element in you that just shines, because here we have Aphrodite, or Venus in the Roman tradition. Goddess of beauty, goddess of love. And maybe all of this time that you've spent in the underworld, maybe crying, mourning, could even be in therapy. Like if you've been undertaking therapy, you know, therapy is a solitary thing because it's only you and your therapist. Okay, so we have the Devil and the Witch of Water. The Moon and the Devil. So you could have actually walked away from a situation that was corrupt, that you couldn't put your finger on, but you knew it smelt rotten, it was putrid. Now Morgan, and I'm sure your archetype, the priestess archetype, this is not an archetype that shies away from what is rotten and what is putrid. A lot of women with the priestess archetype are nurses, are midwives. That sounds very glamorous until you actually spend a day with a nurse or a midwife. It's actually also quite gruesome. You are, tending to wounds and to refuse and to pestilence and to disease and to illness, as well as to all of the beautiful things, right? So they are not averse to the hard stuff. But maybe that's why sometimes you can spend too much time dealing with the hard stuff, because this could also be drugs and alcohol as well. The Devil, Platzol Teodo, this is the Devil card in the Dark Goddess Tarot. And here, she was an earth goddess that actually swallowed up all of human filth in order to cleanse the earth of it. So when you had filth, she would take it, which actually, the earth goddess does do. But then it's followed by the Witch of Water, which is the Queen of Cups. This is a Japanese goddess I don't know anything about. Haya Akitsu Hime. So there's been a cleansing. There's been a cleansing of something that was rotten, toxic, disease-ish in you or in another. Now the warning, of course, is, this King of the Fairies, is he also maybe off with the fairies in terms of drugs and alcohol and substances? I don't get that, but he could be recovered. He could be a sober person who's also recovered as well. King of the Underworld, they have a past. Now we have the Lady of the Lake, Nine of Water. And interestingly, the Lady of the Lake was Morgan's teacher. She's a very old Avalon priestess who apparently taught all the priestesses. And of course, the Nine of Cups is, the all you ever wanted card. So there's some wish fulfillment here. And the Sun, Sekhmet. Sekhmet is one of the most powerful goddesses in time and place, with the Three of Swords in the shadow. So I sense the thing that you've overcome is the Devil. And there's been a lot of cleansing, healing, and water energy. And you've held true to yourself, because what did we have? We had Aphrodite, the Queen of Cups, and now the Sun. You've held true to what really does fulfill you and what truly does mean something to you. That whilst you may carry the priestess archetype, you're not just a nurse for wounded and sick people, because priestesses do attract wounded people because of their healing qualities. And just the oracle, a lot of wounded people, a lot of seekers come to the oracle for guidance. So it's, if you have that archetype, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so you need to become discerning, number one. You need to know how to wield a sword if you're going to be a wise priestess, archetype, or prophetess. And I sense that you have, right? Morgan has been hurt. Morgan has also a sad backstory. So here we have Lady of the Lake, the Nine of Water. So you've held true to what truly fulfills you, and now the sun will shine on you. I sense that you can feel this King of the Fairies already. There's an energy in your presence that you can feel, that it's a consort type of energy. Of course, you don't know what kind of consort. Is it for good? Is it for evil? We don't know, right? Like, you do have to actually live life to learn about it. So some similar themes here. Okay, we have the Three of Earth and Norn, so very much a fated meeting. Hag of Air is you being discerning. I don't see you rushing in. I see him rushing in. So if you're a divine feminine, whether you're male or female, you're sitting still. You're maybe doing some deep practice, whether it's healing and counseling and recovering, or whether it's actually divination, spiritual practice, going for walks under the moon type of stuff. The energy that's coming into you, the masculine energy, whether female or male, so you need to choose who you are here, is coming in acute, coming in strategic, and coming in knowing exactly where he's going. Like, you can actually see it, which is good. This is a strategic masculine who can astutely focus and go towards his goal, is in rightful masculine energy, because masculine energy shouldn't be flipsy-flopsy and not sure. I mean, that's where the masculine ends up in a stagnation, when they don't know what they want and when they don't know how to get there. So this is someone who's wise. And look, he is the king of the underworld. He rides the horse of the underworld, and he is, flanked by the three hounds of the other world. We have Mart, Justice, and then the Queen of Pentacles. Again, very good pairings. Very good pairings. You've got your guard up a bit. You know the difference between right and wrong, and you're learning the art of weighing someone's heart against the lightness of a feather. I don't know if you know that story. It's from Egypt. But it was said that when the dead went to the underworld, the only way that you would be accepted in was if your heart was as light as a feather. And if it wasn't, Anubis would eat it, and you would be forever haunted. You would never proceed to rest. Now, the Witch of Earth is the Queen of Pentacles, Inanna. So Inanna is here greeted by her consort, you can see. And he, of course, comes to her. She is sitting in just her royalty, enjoying the day, the spring. And it is it's Demutsi who bows before her and who brings her, it looks like a kind of rod or wand, right? It's led his way to her. Now we've got 9 of Earth and 5 of Earth, which is an interesting pairing. I'm wondering if there's going to be a wage discrepancy or a financial discrepancy between you, because you look like you're actually doing very well for yourself financially. This person might be recovering or not as wealthy as you. Or another interpretation, because it's Demeter, is they're mourning a loss. And if it's a king of the fairy realm, could definitely be mourning. What else do we need to know? It's a very interesting reading. I don't get, like, these two are not opening up to each other. Do you get that sense as well? So now we have the Death card and the Strength card. Someone has gone through a great transformation, if not both of you. And there is this coming together. The Strength card is 2 people. It's a relationship. You with yourself, you with your other self, or you with another. It's made you, stronger. And then the 4 of Wands. Here, that flew out. I still kind of feel like there is a relationship here. I just can't tell what kind. Could start intellectually. It could start just, just in the conversation kind of land for a while. I see that there is attraction. The Strength card really is also, like, the hidden message there is, of course, attraction. And you can see the attraction. The energy of attraction is very strong. It could be otherworldly as well. There could be a misalignment of values. There's a misalignment at first, or some sort of, like, I want to ask, what is the nature of this relationship? 3 of Water, community, children. I don't know why I got this message, but this could be the father of your kids coming back. Like, if you're in separation from the father of your children, he could make a return, a surprise return. Because 3 of Water here definitely has children energy. I mean, let's hope he doesn't have sinister intent. What is the nature? What is the intention? Let's ask that. What's the intention of the King of the Fairies approaching Morgan? What is the intention of the King? Oh, we got the Emperor. We've got the Emperor and Temperance with Judgment in the shadow. He wants to take what's his. If you're in a dispute about money, I feel like you will hold your ground, definitely, with the Emperor card. But if you're not in a dispute and this is someone new or a newly forming thing, it could be that, like, this person sees you as a consort to create an empire. Now, the Morrigan also has a dark story, and you see the raven here again. And some people say that the name Morgan and the name Morrigan do come from the same sort of root word. And they both have a black raven. So if black ravens are meaningful to you, or, somehow symbolically they're showing up, I would pay attention. His intentions are the Emperor and alchemy. Again, I get a really good feeling. It's just a sense. I could be wrong. I feel like this is an honorable individual who has fought many battles, who comes very transparently and very sort of armed to the hilt, but also with the finery of an emperor. And when you meet true leaders, they do come across that way. They come across as very stylish and fashionable, but also formidable. Like, they're not to be trifled with, although they're also quite, beautiful and powerful and in luxury. Yeah. I love this Morrigan card. The Temperance also shows me that this person has been through all the things as well and has metaphorically, converted water to wine. I don't mean that to disrespect the Christian tradition. Let me change that. This person has metaphorically, converted lead to gold is what I meant to say. So my next question is, what is the nature of the relationship? And we have Tefnut, the Six of Cups. She's a fertility goddess. So again, the theme of children, and Siren of Fire. So with Hell in the Shadow, Two of Earth. So I'm going to suggest here, I'm just going to very discreetly clothe Kadesh. This person is attracted to you and wants to have babies with you, I think, or start a family, or there's a level of nostalgia here of something that you two will share. Six of Water. Maybe you're from the same town. Maybe you're from the same period of history and you share like similar music or something nostalgic to the two of you. Yeah, I kind of like him. He's not over the top. He's not an over the top kind of guy. But he's very actually intense. And then we had Sedna. The moment I said intense. He's just, I feel like this is a, maybe I get Aquarius. Like Aquarian men are very coldish. Can be. But they have deep feelings. They just don't, they're not about flowery language. With the Four of Water reversed, which I'm going to like, with Vesta in the shadow, Ace of Fire. So I'm going to end it here with this interpretation. You are about to, if you haven't already, met with an individual in this world or the other world. Because let's face it, this could be a muse. King of the Fairy Realm could be a muse that is visiting your dreams, visiting your meditations, about connecting you to this energy. And this energy is about true love, companionship, building a life that you wish to build. And I get the sense from you again that you, if not both of you, are very deep and dark individuals, whatever that means to you. You have either suffered great losses in your life, separately or together. I don't get the sense that this is your current partner. If you're partnered, this is obviously your current partner is coming towards you in a more meaningful way, potentially. Or maybe you've withdrawn because of a grief and loss that you've experienced. In any scenario, single or coupled, this is a positive pairing. There is a real sense here of healing, not as in sitting together and crying. I mean, that's what I always think of with the word healing, and I don't like it. I'm an air sign, so I understand that, aversion to sharing war stories. It's more just like there will be a sense within you that you will recognize in each other that there is a deep love for the truth, a deep reverence for grief and mourning because you've both experienced it. You might actually spend time at the sea or the ocean. Yeah. You could even like create something around ceremonial practices for the dead. I mean, you've got Morgan and the King of the Underworld. It's beautiful. You know, if you haven't read the story of Ereshkigal and Nergal, you really have to. I do teach it in my Patreon, but I'm not here to plug Patreon. That's really if you're interested, because it's a lot of kind of essay podcasts. But in their marriage story, they are two very dark and powerful individuals who actually do have an aversion to each other at first that ends well. You know, there is some cataclysmic energy. It is high chemistry. And it is they sort of do unite around loss. But then they end up ruling the underworld together with, of course, the goddess at the helm. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope this was meaningful. Let me know if this is actually playing out and how. Otherwise, I will leave you, as always, with my love and courage until we meet again. Bye for now.